This is part 3 of the Faron Woods series, and in this part we're going to meet the Kiwi Elder and help him to find the rest of the members of his tribe.
This guy is humongous, and I have no clue how this guy is so big.
He must have eaten the rest of them.
Well, maybe that. Well, yeah.
That's where they all died out.
And so, ending part 2 and go right into part 3.
we're still feeling morbid today.
We're talking about death and extinction again.
Yeah. But you're right though. It's funny when we see this big guy and you're like, okay, I can see why he's the leader.
Well, also like how young are those other Kikwis? Like, are they like okay, we obviously don't know how long they live and what their lifespan is, but like, are those Kikwis like only 1/4 the age of the Elder? Maybe you get a lot bigger as you grow up, but
I don't know. It's a mystery.
You would think there's other like adults besides the Elder here.
Yeah, you would think. And, maybe it's a competition though. Maybe he's ran off all the rest of them.
That could be true. Actually, that's a very good point.
But
there's a lot more of the deep woods or the Faron Woods that we don't get to explore. We're way off topic.
Guessing here.
We are way off topic now. We're guessing a game that we've already played all the way through.
I know. We're discussing the
twice for some of us.
The biology of Kikwis.
yeah. Oh my gosh. Now these things are actually. I thought these are actually Octorocks. But I thought for the longest time these were Deku Scrubs.
Yeah, I thought the same thing too. But we're so used to Octorocks being in the water.
Another cool concept, like like with Skyward Sword being the first one in the series, these things are actually called Octorocks. Yeah. And all the other games we saw Octorocks usually in the water. So
maybe they eventually
started
learned to swim.
They started in the forest and kind of went to the water.
Now, I will say one thing that I at least personally found pretty annoying in this game, and there's not a lot. I generally really like this game as well. It's in my top 4 of Zelda games. The stupid shields wearing down as you go.
Well, there's some shields later on you can get that don't wear down.
Yeah.
But yeah, here at the beginning, like they do wear down, and like use this revitalizing
potion or rejuvenation potion or something.
What happens? Like it breaks, I think. You lose it back up to the bazaar. No, you have to take it back up to the bazaar and get it repaired.
You have to go either get it repaired or buy a new one. I'm not sure.
Okay, that could be true.
But
what's one shield? 100 rupees.
It's not much.
Yeah.
But it's just so annoying if it does break on you.
Wink's not got money problems in Hyrule. What we do right now? But here in a little while we won't.
But it's like funny though, like one Octorock, grass Octorock, sorry, and all of a sudden your shield's 4/5 dead.
Yeah, well, I thought it like kind of like regained its not the right word, but energy. I thought that regained its energy.
Later ones does. Like maybe it's the metal shield. One of the later ones does rejuvenate. But it takes less hits up front to break.
I think it's the Sacred Shield.
I think
I think
you're right.
Later on,
the metal or steel, whatever. There's several shields.
Now, one cool concept. I mean, I guess we had this in Wind Waker with the grappling hook, but just like swinging on hooks, like we haven't had this in a lot of Zelda games. Like I said, we got in Wind Waker, slightly different right there because you got to jump to the rope, which I think is a lot cooler than the grappling hook. But
yeah, I agree. And also, like just the actual swinging mechanic is a decent usage of the.
Now, here's another thing with Skyward Sword I love. Just look at the background behind us.
Like so much going on.
Like that's not Elden Volcano, because I think we actually see Elden Volcano maybe when we're in the deep woods. But just like that background right there, I mean, just like Skyward Sword showed a lot of that little stuff like it that didn't have to. That it's a beautiful game.
It really is, and just seeing that stuff in the background, it makes you sit there and think. Even though we know the game is only so big, it's like. It gives Hyrule, or the surface, it's not Hyrule yet, but a sense of scale. Like how big it really is, even if you can never get to it.
That's the thing with Skyward Sword. Should they maybe made like the surface areas bigger, and like the sky maybe a little bit smaller?
I think so.
Because like just imagine like if you think about it, the areas are not that big.
No,
none of them are that big at all. Well, I guess the desert later on is kind of big, but just I mean, just think like you see those mountains in the background.
You know, like there's so much
like,
more
if we could explore that, but maybe it's because we, some of us saw the Zelda Wii U trailer, so maybe it's just like that thinking in my mind.
We're spoiled already.
Yeah, like we want the Skyward Sword game to be the new Wii U game coming out.
Well, and we're kind of getting a little off topic while we're just sitting here talking to the guy, but I feel like the whole Skyloft and the Sky area took one of the worst parts of Wind Waker from the standpoint there's just a bunch of little itty-bitty islands spread out instead of being in the ocean.
It's actually almost identical. It's almost like a sea in Wind Waker, just in the sky.
And at least the land is a lot bigger than anything.
We're on topic. These guys are just talking.
I know.
They're just doing the same thing. They're just blabbing too.
Yeah, the Elder basically, just to catch up, I guess, with what we're actually doing.
He's worried about his Kikwis, and so we gotta go find them all.
And he said, if you find my Kikwis, then I might remember what happened to Zelda.
Yeah.
It's like, thanks.
Yeah, somehow find this. Which I guess makes sense, you know, you get distracted, start worrying about your youngins.
Yeah.
And so you can't remember whatever, but. And
not to be mean, but you have a heck of a time catching this fair.
Yeah, well, motion controls. Anytime I mess up in this game, motion controls.
Anytime we mess up in any Zelda game, it's controllers. And motion controls.
It's not my fault. It's not my fault.
Well, I tell you what though, how long it took me to even to get to the stupid screen to pick like bottles and stuff.
Oh yeah, it was a completely different button. Like you're so used to like going to your items, to get your bottles, but the bottles were actually a different button in this game than the items.
I know, and then you put it away on accident. And for some reason, pulling out a bottle takes your shield off. I don't.
Well, usually you use the same button. You know, oh my god, I'm getting confused just talking about it.
I know it is so frustrating.
Like, I think in this game you use like B to use your weapon.
Yeah.
But we had to hit A to scoop the bottle, so just a lot of that crap.
And if there's nothing to scoop, you put the dang thing away, or you hit the wrong button. I don't know.
Now this part I hated, man. Like climbing on these or walking across these ropes.
Yeah, I feel like this was an instance of like motion controls being put in just for the sake of motion controls.
Well, later on, like I think in part 5, we'll see the Goron like in the deep woods.
Yeah.
He had to walk across the rope. There is no way that Goron walked across that rope.
Well, it's frustrating. Like,
it's not that rope, another rope, but you know what I'm saying.
A rope in general.
Yeah.
It's frustrating that he keeps getting up into all these places that we bust our butts getting to, and he just like randomly shows up there. It's like, dude, what shortcut did you fuck?
He's got like telepathy or something like that, because we also push all. I guess we could be pushing all those logs down.
We do
and
that.
He could be using them to get to places, but later on, actually, no. When we see him in deep woods, he's at a place that's lost and not been pushed down yet.
Yeah. So. Now, to kind of switch gears just a hair, that right there.
I guess you didn't care what I talked about then.
No,
right?
I didn't care, but I think it's a very relevant point right there. The enemy with the horn that he blew to bring other enemies swarming you. You'll see those kind of throughout the game as well. And it's important to kill that guy with the horn.
Yeah, and that's at the very end of the game, though.
Oh my goodness, yeah. But it's a lesson to learn.
I love that concept, though. Like, you know, it's kind of like a battle cry, almost.
It is. Or it's like, hey, the enemy's here. Come here.
Yeah, come here. I do like that.
It's just a nice little touch that makes one enemy like seem like maybe like a captain or a lookout or something.
An outpost captain.
Yeah.
Like a stupid game, Hyrule Warriors.
Yeah, Hick's been playing some Hyrule Warriors.
The worst game ever invented. Hyrule Warriors.
Oh, but yeah, it's just like guys like that. It makes the enemies seem a little less redundant.
Yeah,
because you see this, we slaughter thousands of those poor
vocal blends.
For once, it's me stumbling on these names and not you.
That's what I looked at before we started doing this today.
Yeah, so we slaughter like hundreds of thousands of these things, and at least some of them are a little different than the others. So it's a nice little touch. And I spent like 2 minutes talking about the
That's fine. That's fine. After you cut me off. You cut me off to go on for 2 minutes about that. I just like how we get this guy down right there. How we got that tree.
Just roll right into it and knock him down.
I mean, you thought there'd been a better way, but I guess Nintendo's being a little aggressive. Going back to Majora's Mask days.
Oh, I know.
It was just knocking people out of trees and stuff.
Hey, it worked.
Actually, that did have Majora's Mask. Remember that guy by the observatory? We knocked him out of a tree too.
And he gave us rupees for it.
Yeah, I know, 40. So yeah. Now we gotta find 3, right?
Yes, there's.
That's the first one. Okay.
That's the first one. I don't even think we find the other. I think we find.
No, we don't find. We don't find. I don't know. We don't find them all in this part, but
no.
I just hate how Fee right there. Like I don't hate Fee as much as Red does.
I'm trying not to rail on her right now.
She kind of like says like there's no more in this area. Like
we know
they weren't going to put all 3 in the same the same area. They were going to spread them out over the Faron Woods.
Oh, and since you brought up Fee, like when we were talking to the Elder a minute ago, she's like, "There's an 85% chance that if you find these guys, it'll help our quest."
Yeah.
It's like really, Fee.
She ain't got red star on Fee. You stayed away from her for so long.
Because I feel like I've railed against her in way too many of our Skyward Sword videos.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to let my hatred go.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to let it go.
I guess what she's going to tell people might think this is the first Skyward Sword video. Actually, we've done it a lot more.
We've done the dungeons.
We've done the dungeons that we're kind of going back right now and going through like the other areas. So if it kind of seems like we're talking about things like
or other videos,
other videos, like we've actually done all the dungeons and we're kind of doing the areas now.
Yeah, so I'm trying to contain my hatred.
Yeah, he loves it. No, I love this one right here. I think her name's Erla. Like she has a great hiding, but her name doesn't really matter.
No,
it doesn't matter. What her name is. But that is a great hiding place right there.
It really is. Just like with the plant you have that these kiwis have on their back, just to be in the middle of a bunch of bushes.
Yeah,
it was a really
great disguise.
It's better than the person who's chilling in the tree. I mean,
that's not a bad hiding spot though.
They'd already found him though.
I can't remember where the last one's at. I'm trying to think of where the last one's at.
I think we have to crawl under a tunnel to get to the last one, so that's probably a pretty good hiding spot too. But
the first one though, just kept on hiding behind those big mushrooms. Like that's not a very good hiding spot. Now, what I don't understand is she actually says the Elder is better at hiding. How in the world is that huge Elder better at hiding than her? Like that makes no sense whatsoever.
Not even in the slightest. But now that we found Erla, this will wrap up part 3 of the Faron Woods.